A new reboot trailer dropped, so you know what that means. Analysis time, starting with what looks to be some funky idol looking weapon skin on dual wielding Mac 10s. Moving on, we have some cinematic shots. We've seen this already. Although I did notice there's a video store here. It would be pretty cool if these video stores were enterable and that's where you go to replay missions and cutscenes. Unlikely, but just a thought. The textures in the distance seem to not be properly loaded, which is concerning for me considering they haven't stated this is pre-alpha gameplay like they did in the previous trailers. The sign to the right of the screen says, "This could be your sign," which leads me to believe that when you purchase your various criminal ventures, you may get some billboards of your boss throughout the city, as you did in Saints Row 2. In the back, we can see a location of a friendly fire and also a jerry can on the ground. I'm wondering if that will be a usable weapon or not. This district here heavily reminds me of the red light district from Steelport. Funny enough, it was one of the very few memorable locations on that map. Hopefully this time around, the red light looking area is even better than before. Although, if we look closer at the doors, we can see that none of these bars look like they are enterable, which is a bit unfortunate. In a lot of these shots we've seen so far, we can see some enemy idle grunts tagging walls, which is a bit strange given that they have already confirmed tagging will not be coming back. These reoccurring shots kind of give off the wrong impression that the feature is coming back. You can also see one of the toxic waste criminal ventures in the background. It looks like Big Willie's cab company will be making a return. I also want to point out that this particular car that the cab car is shown very often in the footage I've seen. It is in fact a new car in the series, but I hope there's a ton of variety when it comes to the vehicles, in particularly the cars, because that's the main means of transportation in the game. In this shot here, we see what looks to be the leader of the Marshals. If we zoom into the screen on the wall, we can see that it says CEO A. Marshall's constantly ongoing feud with the gang known as the Saints, implying that the leader of the Marshals' name is A. Marshall, which I'm assuming has to be this cowboy Doug Dimmadome looking dude right here. Here's a Panteros Mr. T looking dude sporting some big ass chains, which I'm extremely pleased to see return. You can also see he's wielding a very strange looking melee weapon that is reminiscent of Wolverine. Also, I've noticed that the beards in the game look a lot better than the previous installments. In Saints Row the 3rd and Saints Row 4, the beards would stick to your face and there would be no depth to them, which would make it lack appeal to some people who would want that thick, scruffy biker beard look. I gotta say, a lot of the Panteros seem to be so jacked up on steroids, they low-key remind me of the Luchadors. Some people have been claiming that they are a mix between the Carnales and the Brotherhood. Personally, I find that they are a mix of the Luchadors and the Brotherhood, if we're going based off looks. I do like the fact that cornrows are making a return. I just hope the hair options, they take that extra step and give us the option to choose different lengths like they did in Saints Row 1. After all, according to Volition, this is the most in-depth character creator we'll be seeing in the series. This gun here is part of the Panteros American Muscle DLC. I've noticed a lot of the shots that a bunch of the guns have different color muzzle flashes, otherwise known as tracer rounds in COD terms. Hopefully we can change the color of our tracers while customizing our weapons. Here we have a returning tattoo from Saints Row 2, very nice. This bat is part of the Idols Anarchy Pack DLC, and I have no idea what this guy is wearing on his face. The look of the Marshals have been very polarizing for some. In fact, some people flat out hate it. But to me, I honestly like the design better than Stag. They look like a mix between Masako and Stag to me. I do like the look of the rifle too, and it looks like weapon camos will be a thing, which is always fun to play around with. You can also see that, again, this weapon has different color tracer rounds, which further backs up my claim earlier that we can change the tracer colors. I'm really not a fan of these laser looking things at all. I just can't get behind more sci-fi stuff in this series. I've already been dealt enough torture with that during the course of Saints Row 4. Please, hashtag no lasers, for the love of God. This gun looks to be a mix of a futuristic martial weapon and an old western model 1887 lever action shotgun. Pretty cool looking. I can only assume this shot is the boss giving the iconic Saint speech during some point in the storyline. We also for the first time see some generic Saints grunts, and to be quite honest, they look pretty good. Now, I'm not sure if this is something they've recently changed with the new time they have due to the delay, or if this is how they've always looked, but I honestly like the look of them, especially the bulletproof vest. I have a feeling I'll be making an outfit that consists of the vest during a playthrough at some point. But yeah, other than that, these guys don't look like dweebs, so that's good I guess. It is a bit strange to me that the boss is the only one rocking purple here, considering the main theme of the HQ's windows behind the gang is in fact purple. I guess we'll have to wait and see when they officially make the switch from teal to purple in the story as we learn more. Here we can see the boss holding what looks to be an AS3 Ultimax shotgun from Saints Row the Third, and we see a martial grunt sporting dual-wield magnums which kind of look like they have silencers on them. We can also see a Nelson parked in the back and two Swindles even further back. It's a bit funny that when the player fired the RPG, the rocket doesn't even leave the barrel. Just a tad frightening because this footage does not say pre-alpha, but hey, they've got 9 more months. I'm sure they'll fix this, right? Some more gameplay of the Tether feature. Looks like this will be fun, but I hope it's something they don't overuse for missions too often. Keep it feeling special. They also seem to love this specific area to show off the Tether. Some gameplay of a new taunt, which looks like the DX suck it crotch chop. RPG approves. Also, idle grunts holding a shovel and an axe melee weapon. Again, this is the car I was talking about earlier that I seem to see quite often during the gameplays we've seen. The cops seem quite aggressive and the chase sequences honestly look amazing. Some wingsuit gameplay and of course, that same car. I will say that the gameplay looks really good when there's absolutely no HUD at all. It'll be good if you can turn it off whenever you'd like to get some extra cinematic shots for videos. Another reason why I'd like a Rockstar editor type feature, but that's a rant for a different video. Some various idle boats attacking the player. I'm wondering if you can change the tracer rounds on tanks as well, because you can see a blue tint the explosion gives off from the rocket here. The engine blower on this pickup truck looks absolutely insane. It looks like we're going to be seeing some pretty awesome car customization, which is one of the most anticipated features that I would like to see next personally. This car crash looks very strange. Tiny compact sports car hits a pickup truck and it went flying like it weighed little to nothing. I hope the cars we enter don't become pretty much indestructible like they did in Saints Row 3 and 4, as it drastically lowers the difficulty level of the game. Furries. Here we have a Karate Kid kick to an NPC in a place I'm almost certain is Fight Club, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. We can see more footage of what looks to be an Atlas Breaker monster truck on the left, and to the far right we can see a garbage truck in the middle of a firefight. Another old western style weapon, maybe a pump action pistol or one of those pistols you have to cock back after every shot. Here is what is most likely the leader of the idols, hitting a rival Panteros member in the face with a bat. If I had to guess, I'd say this comes from a cutscene. Here we have a new off-roading type compact vehicle mid-car chase with a tornado helicopter chasing it. We have footage of a hoverboard. Not sure how I feel about this, but yeah, it's there. We also have a taxi cab with a FB's advertisement on the side of the car. Okay, I'm like 90% sure this is Fight Club. We do know that there's a dojo fighting academy in the game, and the gritty vibe to this scene almost screams out Fight Club in your face. I could be totally wrong, but let's hope our beloved activity is finally making a proper return. This seems like it will take place in the museum on the map we've seen a couple times in previous trailers. Maybe a heist mission of sorts. A very Saints Row 4 looking weapon skin on the sniper. Oh god, please god no. This screams Guardian Angel, and I truly hope I'm wrong about this. Please god, don't bring back Guardian Angel. Notice how in this shot the player shoots the car, which then sets off the car to drive forward and explode. Maybe environmental attacks are a new element of firefights, which would add a deeper level of immersion to the world. I have to say, this Panteros Scorpion Motors stronghold looks beautiful with the lighting system and the explosions, and I'm excited to explore this area. Here we see the boss wearing an outfit that looks exactly like Eli's. Eli does in fact look like a man-child. In this shot, we can see that the Stillwater Sharks will be coming to the Smelter Dome on Friday the 19th, a nice callback to the SR2 universe. We can also see that the beer hat is returning, and what kind of looks like a do-rag under the hat, I think. It's either a do-rag or some weird looking hair. Hopefully a do-rag, but yeah. We can also see some marshals fighting cops and the Saints, so it's a little bit of a three-way firefight. It would be cool if these things happen naturally in the open world. This is also co-op gameplay as it goes back and forth between boss shots. Okay, what the fuck? This force field shield thingy? Just no, why? Like I said earlier, I'm not really a fan of the sci-fi elements of this game. We see another old school type weapon shoot an enemy through a crate as well. We can see the return of the Death Blossoms from Saints Row the Third. We can see an FB's, a furry, a fat cop, and a building that says Vertical Slice. That could be somewhat of a callback of Volition's Vertical Slice presentations of older Saints Row titles, or maybe I'm just reaching. An ice cream outfit with tongue physics? Nice. I really like the look of this crash through the glass. Looks awesome in 4K 60 FPS. Also notice when they hit the taxi cab, the driver window cannons out of the car like they would in SR2, and to some extent Saints Row the Third. Looks good though. In this frame, you can see Channel 39's HQ. This might just be the breaking news channel that you may hear reporters talking about recent crimes on the radio like you would in previous Saints Row games.
It's been said that this year's heatwave has made this summer the worst in Stillwater's history. Today, another feather has been added to this year's dubious cap.
Some people have been claiming that there might be a boost button for the VTOL, but to me, it just looks like the footage is speed ramped. I will say that the reflections look good though. The ragdoll physics when running over pedestrians definitely look a lot better than Saints Row 3 and 4. Here we can see Eli shooting a K8 Krukov, and if we zoom in, we can see the words "Made in USA Steelport," which is a callback to the city from SR3 and 4, of course. The boss on the left here is sporting some Jim Rob's overalls. I can only imagine that these different outfits with this specific background is the player choosing their clothes from the wardrobe in your starting apartment crib. Gas mask looks cool. I do like the fact that the boss's body is a lot more realistically proportioned than in SR3 and 4. I'm glad we don't have to look like we've been injecting hardcore steroids for the last 3 years, and we can finally look like an average Redditor now. Some different variants of the hammerhead, which again make me think that the car customization goes really in depth. I can't wait to see more of this. The second variant is a bit strange though. The cardboard blower and the fake cardboard exhaust at the top, they look strange. Regardless though, I plan on making a special series of videos regarding the cars of the Saints Row franchise. We can see another FBs in the background here while the boss is shooting at a random enemy car. It seems the feature where you can lay on a vehicle and shoot can also be done while on boats. Some sort of stomp ability. I really hope the sci-fi stuff isn't too forced during the main story. As for me personally, that would take away the realistic and a little bit more grounded feeling they are claiming they are going for this time around. We can also see a Titan armored truck in the background. I hope Volition has taken notes from what people have said about the GTA trilogy. People really do not like glowing outlines on enemies. If anything, just have a toggle that allows us to turn it off. This looks like it's most likely trailblazing gameplay, as the ATV is making all cars in its immediate vicinity explode. This takedown here reminds me of the takedown you could perform in Gat Out of Hell. This seems like some sort of Marshall's jump pad that allows you to get height for the wingsuit. We can also see what looks to be a racetrack of some sort, which I'm excited for. We can see 2 enemy tornado helicopters attacking the playa. A bit strange how the RPG kind of appears out of thin air, but I'm assuming it's because we can't see the weapon wheel because of the HUD being turned off. Notice when they fire the weapon, the rocket again doesn't even leave the barrel of the gun. And yeah, there you have it. A lot of people have been asking my thoughts, but to be quite honest with you, it's the same thoughts I've had for the last couple trailers. That was pretty much more of the same, and I feel they should show us either customization or some of the storyline stuff for the next gameplay showcase. I will say that although they have been claiming this game tonally is between Saints Row 2 and Saints Row the 3rd, it seems to me this game is looking very much between the likes of Saints Row 3 and Saints Row 4 instead. Then again, we still really haven't seen that much, especially in terms of story. I just hope the next video we get isn't an action sizzle reel and is more of a developer commentary walkthrough type video, as I feel those are a lot more effective. Anyways, this has been your boy RPG. For everything Saints Row plus more, stick with me. See you later, pimps. I'll catch you on the flip side.